And we are live. Oh, hello. Welcome to today's stream. This time we'll be playing the Mortician still. Uh, I know that this game is a more of the nicer ones to play, or like an easier one to play. But I'm not too sure how heavy the topics will get. Uh, so I guess I'm tossing out that disclaimer that in case the topics are a little too much, you can feel free to take a break or just, yeah, walk away from the stream. Because, uh, yes, views are nice, but, you know, your own mental peace is more important. But, for those that are in chat, if you can audio check me, that'd be great. How's the volume for the game? It's not too loud. And am I clear enough? Because we always keep having issues with the mic. But, you know, yeah, this will keep happening until the mic gets replaced. Meantime, I'm just gonna check on my end how things are looking. Seems everything's working fine. Alright, that's good to know. I did, before starting stream, I did lower the volume of the game because it was quite loud. For some games, audio will be important, where like it will be part of the mechanic of the game, or like to add to the mood or stuff like that. So that's why I fuss about the audio sometimes. But if there is no issues, then we'll start the stream, or like the game. September 14, 10:15 a.m. Okay, I move by clicking. Oh, that's We'll start from the first email that we got. From Funerals Monthly. Tips for good etiquette at a funeral. Thanks for subscribing. Each month we bring you a new newsletter featuring a topic pertaining to the death industry. This month is all about good etiquette for attending a funeral. I really can't believe we had to write this one out, but since we said we'll answer your most popular questions, here we are, because this is definitely one of the most popular questions. Funerals are a hard time, and we understand that, but here are some quick and easy rules to remember for being respectful at a funeral. Generally, following the guidelines of don't be a jerk. It should work out. Number 1. Don't be on your cell phone. We understand you're busy, but this is a time and place to disengage. If you have to be on your cell phone, don't do so inside the funeral home. Number 2. Don't be loud and obnoxious. You can share happy stories, but other people are also grieving and working through their own healing process. Being quiet gives other people space they might need. Number 3. Don't get drunk. Everyone can deal with their feelings in their own ways. Just remember to be respectful when with the grieving family and friends. Number 4. Happy reminiscence. Sometimes remembering happy moments and positive experiences with the deceased can be a productive part of the healing process. Number 5. Give condolences. It's not easy knowing what to say to someone, but even a simple "I'm thinking of you" can go a long way. Number 6. Dress appropriately. What this looks like will change based on the customs of the deceased and their culture, but always dress in a way that shows respect to the deceased and their grieving family. 6, 8. What happened to 7? Huh. Number 8. 7? Question mark? Give a gift or sign the registration book. This can be flowers and a nice card, but it's the thought that counts here. Sometimes this can be even just cooking dinner for the grieving family. Anything that shows you care and want to help them through the healing process is what matters here. Be kind and be helpful. You know? Personally, I haven't gone to funerals. Uh, so I actually wouldn't be able to tell you from personal experience if this is okay or this is not right. But I would say that like what's given here as advice seems to be pretty solid. I do agree with like don't be a jerk and things should work out. Okay. Now for the next email from Amy Rose to Charlie. Hello Charlie, hope you settled in okay so far. My teacher had dropped off your first body for you to work on. He said you were really friendly and he's glad to have someone young and lively to work with. You get used to his sense of humor. Your first body is Miss Garcia, an elderly woman who died suddenly of a heart attack. The family has asked for a closed casket funeral, so no oh my gosh. No embalming or body preparation is necessary. The family seems a little bit more united than previous families we have dealt with. Strange how grief affects people differently. Perhaps having more time to say goodbye makes things a bit easier, if that's possible. That being said, although you will not be embalming Miss Garcia, I do think it's important to take the time to clean her body. No one is going to see her body, but I'd like to encourage my funeral directors to do this out of respect for the deceased and their loved ones. You find Miss Garcia in the prep room. Talk soon. Amy Rose, founder and director of Rose and Daughters Funeral Home. A special request for my mother's funeral. So there's attached emails to this, or like I guess she CC'd us into like some of the other things. Dear Mia, of course we will be happy to oblige your request for non-bombing and for a closed casket. I'm sure our funeral director receives your request. Take care. I'm stuttering so much, which usually happens when I don't talk for the day, and that's bad. But you know, as we progress in the game, it should be easier. I'm just gonna drink water before continuing on. Alright, this is from Amy, so her special request. Dear Amy, we're happy to be with Rose and Daughters for my mother's funeral. We understand that there are usually procedures that must be followed in these situations, but if you could kindly not involve my mother, that would be greatly appreciated, and we will proceed with a closed casket for the service. I just know she wouldn't have wanted her death to have a negative impact on the environment, and since she fought so hard to beat her heart disease and to live healthily, it will be a shame to have her final moments be counter to the way she lived. Thank you for anything you can do to help us in this matter. Best, Mia. Okay. So, someone that I know has already played this game and that did mention certain things to me, right? That not because the protagonist, who's Charlie, wants to do anything bad, but like there'll be unfortunate moments where like the requests for the family are not followed. Oh, wait, answering takes me. I mean, if this is the next part of the game, I want to like do it, but I also wanna just finish reading the mail. Yeah, because sometimes as you move forward, you'll get more messages, and sometimes some of the older messages will get lost. So just because I get confused, I don't want to like lose information. Alright, from Jen to Charlie. I guess my subject lines to you should start being more professional now that we are business professionals. I can't wait to get your reply so I can see your fancy new email signature. I love that you were able to land this gig straight after graduating. It sounds super cool. I didn't even know mom and pop funeral homes were a thing now until now. Guess it's not just something I really think that much about. I should look more into this, learn more about your world and industry, because as I said, you are now a very serious professional. Speaking of being a professional, my museum gig is amazing. I can't believe someone paid me to move to London and not London. ON, serial killer capital of Canada. To work in a museum. Like, take that, everyone who said I couldn't get a job with an art history degree. Wait, hold up, I need a moment. I'm not. Mm. Yeah. I just need to write this down for my own personal notes. For my muse. A museum. I don't know. Art history for museum. It does work, right? I actually met someone like that while I was studying. It was interesting. We had to work on a group project together during class. So they were really chill, and definitely very like excited to be there. Someone that was studying to become a curator. Continuing with the email. I'll tell you more about it when we Skype. My stories require you to see my face and that you hear my excellent British accent impersonation. Also, I signed you up for Funeral's monthly newsletter. Consider it your graduation gift. I love you. I'm super proud of you. Gift. Love you, love you, love you. Jen, Museum Curator, London Pathology Museum. Okay. But from what I'm understanding, right? Jen had to move out of the country to land a job, right? So, so maybe there's maybe that's the key, right? From Amy Rose. Hello, Charlie. Well, you're new here, so it's probably best I explain where everything is. In your office preparation room, you find your cremation station, cremulator station, embalming station, and obviously, since you're reading this email, your desk and computer area. I know you have experience working with these stations, but please let me know if you have any questions. Best, Amy Rose. Okay, Matthew Jeffrey. Welcome, Charlie. Nice to meet you. My name's Matthew, and I'm mainly going to be the man who delivers the bodies to you and helps with some of the more heavy lifting. Ever hear that joke about a hearse driver? I'll tell that to you when I come by in a bed. Looking forward to working together. I think you enjoy working here. Amy is a sweetheart, but she runs a tight ship. Nothing you can't handle, I'm sure. She wouldn't have hired you otherwise. Cheers and good luck, Matthew J. Okay, another email attached to this. Hello everyone, I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce our new funeral director, Charlotte, or Charlie, as she told me she likes to be referred to. Charlie is a recent graduate who came highly recommended and is eager to begin her career here with us at Rose and Daughters Funeral Home. Please take the time to make Charlie feel at home within our little family. We'll have a nice catered lunch this afternoon so we can all get to know each other a little better as well. Sincerely, Amy Rose. Oh, and we have like tabs. Okay. About Rose and Daughters. Rose and Daughters Funeral Home was founded by my grandparents back in 1956. The Rose family has proudly served the area since then, providing personal, affordable funeral services for all. I'm proud to have carried on my family's business for the last 36 years, working with the best and brightest funeral directors and grief counselors in the area. Please don't hesitate to reach out if you recently experienced a loss and would like us to help you through this hard time. Honestly, wait a minute. To find jobs in art? Okay, maybe you don't have to go that far. But depending on what you want to do. Some areas definitely lend themselves better for those type of careers. But you know, we're barely at the start of the game. We haven't even like done our work just yet. But you know, this game, it has a point. It's not wrong. How much do we actually know about like services and or like even like companies and their practices in regards to this? Because it is something unpleasant to think about, right? Uh, but it's also so important. So we it should definitely like have some type of priority. Just getting that information or like doing the research. At least as far as I know, right? Uh, Services are expensive. Uh, but if you were to ask me about potentially anything else in regards to it, that's the only thing that I could tell you, to be honest. That as far as I know, services are expensive. So, the fact that she said, where is it? Where's the line? Affordable funeral services for all. What does that mean? It's expensive to that. Yeah, we all say it, right? Affordable funeral services for all. What happens to people that can't afford the service? I guess we'll see that answer in this game, right? This game is full. It's teaching you and me about things that we should know, but we don't know. The backyard. No. Okay. I do know this, right? So the reason why sometimes they'll even harp about like burying pets in the backyard, right? Is that you have a lot of things that run in the ground, from cables to pipes, and so the concern is that someone who just meant well and is trying to like bury a pet, for example, will end up hitting one of those infrastructures and causing um, an issue. So technically, burying pets in the backyard is not allowed because of that. Um, I'm not. I think that's in general. I know that maybe by state it goes differently. I don't remember how I know that, but I know it. So we'll leave it at that. I, hmm. I can't leave it at that. I, uh, I'll return to the game real quick. I just need to do a quick Google search, right? Oh my gosh. I think I'm not like I'm not trying to like point fingers, but America. uh yeah, I think that's a very specific issue to certain regions. Uh can you bury a pet in the backyard? Okay. So, you know, you asked about like the backyard's not a bad place, right? For most states, the answer is yes. You can be buried in your property. The states that that's not allowed is Indiana, California, and Washington. You know, learning. It is interesting. But we'll continue with the game. Here at Rose and Daughters Funeral Home, we're committed to providing loved ones with best and most affordable funeral services in the area. We offer a diverse range of personalized funeral service options to fit every need. I keep interrupting, but now I'm thinking, if you can't afford the service, right? Because, for example, it's illegal in California, right? If you can't afford the service, but you can't bury them in the backyard because that's not legal, that's not allowed. What happens? Life insurance purposes. I'm gonna be honest. If you can't afford the burial process, you probably weren't able to afford life insurance. Because life insurance, I had to take a look from my parents previously about life insurance. Because whenever they have to take care of paperwork, they will always ask me for to read the specifics about it or to do the research. And some of the paperwork that they had to fill out was questions about like life insurance. Uh, so life insurance is expensive. It's at least the one that they were offering from their workplaces. It's expensive. No. This game is already starting off pretty strong. We're already questioning our own reality, our own like situations, right? But yeah, life insurance it's too expensive. Honestly, between medical insurance, life insurance, car insurance, even potentially home insurance, right? Like you don't even have to like add rent. Just those the insurances, right? Could eat up a good chunk of the paycheck. So sometimes it becomes a question, what do you pay? The rent or the insurances? And then some of them are mandatory. Yeah. No, if you didn't know this, right? I'll probably post it on Twitter, the link to the video, right? During the AIDS pandemic, right? Where there was a lot of things that were happening. But, you know, one of the political actions I was taken because people were dying since they weren't receiving medical treatment. Because, you know, AIDS was seen as taboo, right? As it's a disease for like sinful people. Uh, so they wouldn't get service, they wouldn't get help. And one of the political movements or actions I was taking towards the fact that people were dying and they were getting ignored was that people had requested that once they were cremated to just toss their ashes into the White House or yeah like to the nearest politician because you know they're like politicians at the time were out of sight out of mind type of mentality and the tossing of ashes was just kind of like it's not like out of sight like look they're here and they're gone already. But yeah, I'll link the source of this from Twitter. It's interesting. Would definitely recommend for people to watch. Although it is a type of documentary, it could be a little boring to go through. uh, Jeez, I don't know what to tell you about that, but like you probably can, or I'm sure that depending on how you negotiate some of it, you probably can make it happen. So take it as a grain of salt. Alright, continuing with the website. Prices. Burial with open casket ceremony and reception. $5,985. Burial with closed casket ceremony and reception. $4,275. Cremation with ceremony and reception. $1,700. Direct burial with no ceremony or reception. 1,905, all inclusive. Wait, cremation with ceremony and reception. Okay, but okay, because this is direct burial. Okay, that's when I sway a little higher. Direct cremation with no ceremony or reception. 600, all inclusive. We also offer custom packages to suit everyone's budget or needs. Please do not hesitate to contact us with any questions at this email. You know, we have some hot coffee here. Alright. You know, medium solid. But before we proceed with the actual game, I'll be right back. I guess to explain a little context, one of the pets has been feeling a little funny. So I just had to do rounds. And you know, it's about time I did that round. I'm just gonna be back real quick. And I am back. I'm not going to say that he's necessarily doing fine. But it's concerning. Just definitely having to check and make sure that he's doing okay. You know, pets, they can be very finicky. They can be very special. So pets will be more complicated to take care of than like others. You know, just like people. You know, usually the recommendations are always like take your pet to the vet. Sometimes that isn't always as possible, but definitely at the very least, if you're concerned about a pet's house, right, make sure that they're eating and drinking. Right? And always do your research. If you're worried, research can help you into being able to make a decision. Alright, this is a prep room where you will prepare bodies for burials and viewings. Because the family has requested a closed casket ceremony with no embalming, we are just going to clean the body. Click on the sponge and drag it over the body to clean. Okay. That's it, you're done. Miss Garcia will be sent to Mike, who will take care of dressing and putting her in the casket. It's time to go to Miss Garcia's funeral. You are responsible for taking care of the deceased's body, but it's also important to pay your respects to their loved ones. Follow the arrow to head to the funeral parlor. Okay. It seems like we could talk to the guests. We'll start from this side of the room, because I feel like going this way might be important. Yeah, I heard the family specifically said no embalming. I thought it was mandatory, like required by law, but I guess not. See, addressing some of those questions. Embalming weirds me out. Do those chemicals leach into the ground? Seems strange to be using a chemical that is known to cause cancer and putting it into the ground like that. Or into the sewer. That's what they must do with the leftover formaldehyde, right? Just pour it down the drain. Actually, no. No. Okay. I know this because of doing manual work, right? With chemicals, you do not absolutely pour them down the drain. At least what we used to have is that we had like a box for like any chemicals, right? You would like just pour it into like that container, into that box, right? Eventually, at least the school will take care of it to get rid of it, but you do not absolutely pour chemicals down the drain. Even with clay, you do not to work with clay, you use water, and like water will get contaminated with the clay. You do not pour that water down the drain either. It also causes issues. So, the more you know. At least embalming guarantees you won't be buried alive. Stop it. Don't make me laugh right now. Oh? Oh, just a child? No parents? Okay. Mommy, I'm hungry. When can we go? Yeah. I guess it checks out. Do they say this in conversation? Yeah, they do. I hate wearing pantyhose. My legs are so itchy, but it's always so cold in these funeral homes. I think I might actually miss those sweaters she used to knit for me now. Oh. Oh. Yeah. At least from my own understanding, it has to be cold in order to like preserve the body, because you know, that's gonna sound weird. I know this because of like zombie apocalypse, but like, god damn it. Bodies will rot faster in heat. Heat makes things rot faster. Water also makes things dissolve faster. So if you want to preserve something, anything, right? It's cold. That's why we put our food in the refrigerator, because the cold helps in preserving things. So, for the service, for both the body and for like the people coming over to pay their respects, it has to be cold. We usually don't small talk a lot at these things. At least that's what I always thought. Was always thought. Is this Matthew? That is a good question. if you were in a situation like this, working as a mortician, will you talk to the people? I think it depends on a case by case situation. Because for some people, it might be, oh, you know, easier to do that, right? And for some other people, they're like the silent types. The So maybe Matthew's one of those, the silent types. Like, yeah, they feel compassion. They want to pay their respects, right? But they just don't know what words to use in order to like maybe talk to the people paying their respects. Because we usually see family, right? But sometimes that isn't the case with all of them, right? And yeah, it's unfortunate when it's like that sometimes. She will have hated these paintings. She was so particular. Yeah, at least she doesn't have to see them, I guess. That's... yeah, I guess. Yeah, well, and I think the last thing we do, we pay our respects. But, you know, I think, at least how I see it personally, October 11th, okay, talking to the people that pay their respects, right, helps put the entire job in a very human light, right? Because, you know, sometimes it will be the situation where a job's a job, right? And because of like thinking about it that way, it could be very dehumanizing, especially when it comes to certain aspects. But you know, actually getting that human interaction, conversation, it puts you back into a more compassionate focus. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So if I had clicked to do my job immediately after I got pulled out, I definitely would have missed emails. Does the website the same though? Does seem like it. Okay, we'll start from the bottom to the top. What to wear when you're attending a funeral from a different culture? From Funerals Monthly. We all know everyone wants to be respectful at funerals. Don't talk too loudly, be kind, smile, and refrain from making inappropriate jokes. At least around the grieving family. Hey, sometimes some people do need a little bit of a pick me up during such hard times. Who are we to judge? Actually, yeah. Some people, their coping mechanism is to joke or to laugh, right? And they'll get judged as being insensitive, but like, no, that's straight up, that's your coping mechanism. Like, yes, there'll be some people that are like, kind of like being asshole-ish and like using that as an excuse to just be like a general ass, but no, everyone has a different coping reaction. Sometimes, for some people, the reaction's immediate. They'll weep, they'll cry, right? For some people, that reaction's delayed. They probably don't show any emotions in the funeral, right? And they're judged as kind of like harsh and cold, right? But you know, a week or two later, the delayed emotion just like hits them like a truck. And then some people, again, just like the laughing or like the joking as a coping mechanism, but it's just difficult for everyone involved, and so just having a little more patience with each other in a situation of this type. And a big part of that is knowing what to wear. Roman Catholic funerals tend to lean more to the formal black attire rule, and it works for us. Did you know that this goes back to the days of the Roman Empire, where people will wear black as a symbol for mourning? Black isn't universally the symbol for mourning, though. And if you're attending a funeral that is from a culture that is not your own, it's important to understand this. Some colors have different meanings, and despite your best intentions, the wrong choice could mean accidental offense. For example, in Hinduism and in Chinese cultures, white is typically the color for funerals. For Islam, though, it is less about the color you are wearing and more about how modestly you are dressed. Refrain from wearing any elaborate jewelry and be respectful of your behavior. For Sikh funerals, color of the clothing isn't as important as is dressing modestly and being able to appropriately sit cross-legged. Actually, being respectful is just the number one rule for any funeral, no matter what, really. Remember that, and please don't hesitate to ask what is and isn't appropriate to wear. If you are attending to support a friend, family member, or a partner, this day is not about you, so be sure to do whatever you can to be as respectful and supportive as possible, even if that means not wearing what you are used to wearing at a funeral, or even if it just means asking how you can appropriately show your respects. Yeah, in general, agreed. Be respectful, be mindful, right? And this goes with anything, honestly. If in doubt, don't be afraid to ask, right? Because worst situation is that you assume, and because you assume, or because you're afraid to ask, you come off as not being respectful when that wasn't your intention at all. So it goes for anything. When in doubt, don't be afraid to ask the adequate person, right? Because sometimes you can ask someone that's available nearby, but maybe they're not the adequate person, and so it just becomes a situation of he said, she said. So we'll continue with the email from Matthew Jeffrey to Charlie. A story about this. Hey there, Charlie. I was driving around the other day, taking our clients on their last trip around town, and I was thinking, strange, I know. Did I ever tell you the first time I went to a funeral? I was a teenager, about to start university, and a friend of mine was killed. In a car accident, totally out of the blue. Really tragic stuff. Messed me and my friends up real good. But so, the big day, we all got into our best suits and dresses, and packed ourselves into a few cars. There were a lot of us, so we had at least 3 different cars full of us. Like clown cars. While we're in the procession going to the cemetery, somebody in our car got a phone call from a friend in a different car. Turns out some asshat driver who doesn't know to not get in the way of a procession drove through the intersection and smashed straight into our friend's car. Nobody was hurt, thank God, but can you imagine getting that call? Anyways, one of my friends in the same car as me, the one who got the phone call, hung up and started laughing. Just laughing her ass off in that way that makes you not sure if they're really just crying or if they're gone fully off the deep end. And she laughed, and then we all started giggling because, go figure, life is messed up sometimes. There's no moral, no point to that story, I guess. I just remember that story I wanted to tell you, because we work with us all the time, and I still sometimes get caught off guard by what that actually means. Oh, before you get any ideas, that has nothing to do with why I became a funeral director. The decision came totally later, and it's nothing unremarkable. Somebody has to do it, and I have a strong stomach, so why not? I'll see you in a bit, Charlie. Yeah, people will laugh in stressful situations, and the passing of someone is a stressful situation. From Amy Rose to Charlie. Sincerely, thank you. Just passing this message along. Thanks for the hard work, Charlie. Okay, from the previous funeral, from Mia. Hi Amy, please pass along our deepest thanks to you and your staff for the wonderful job they did with our mother's funeral. It was really lovely. Our family so rarely gets together. It was nice seeing everyone come out for such a beautiful service. My son never gets to see his family. Also, it was incredibly kind of you to let us bring our own food. Getting to share home-cooked meals, sharing stories, being there together, it meant a lot. So what I'm saying is, it was nice for everyone to be there like that, together in that way, and I know how much of that was due to your work, to the work of your staff, especially your funeral director. Thank you for making this difficult time easier for all of us. Best, Mia. Okay, the next drop. Hi Charlie. Here are the instructions for your next body. You did a remarkable job on the first one. The family was very happy with you. No small feat, of course. Pleasing a grieving family isn't exactly the most comfortable of jobs. Your next job is a man named Mr. Duval. An elderly man died of old age. Nothing fancy, just a standard funeral with embalming. You can reach out to his daughter, Lizzie Duval. If you have any questions, she's handling her father's passing as well as can be expected. As always, don't hesitate to ask me any questions. Best, Amy Rose. P.S. Charlie, dear, please remember to wear proper embalming gear. Formaldehyde is extremely dangerous. I know, I don't need to tell you, but my maternal instincts are hard to ignore. I promise I won't mother you too much. Well, just a little. Ask Matthew. He knows. You know, game-wise, maternal instincts about the disclaimer, but like, it's actually for our information. Formaldehyde is a dangerous chemical. Okay, from Jennifer Valentine. I am so frustrated right now. Okay, so let me explain this in a bit more detail. A colleague and I were discussing the tight lasers liver specimen we have here. Tight lasers liver? I think I'm gonna have to Google that later. What does that mean? We have here at the museum. It's from a woman who died in 1907 and the liver is tapered and which from what the doctors leading the autopsy believed was too tight lacing on her corset. Okay, well I don't have to Google anymore. It's fascinating because it's kind of a controversial topic. Tight lacing was super popular and while people associated it with fainting or hysteria, it's actually been associated with blaiseroptosis, which is when the organs fall to the lower part of the abdomen, right? Which is super unsettling but can also be caused by being pregnant. So, to make a long story short, corsets probably mess up some bones, but likely didn't do this kind of internal organ damage. And I'm tired of the condescension about my wardrobe that also implies I don't know what I'm doing. These are the kinds of things I specifically research, and yet I am treated like I know nothing about it. I'm having a day, Charlie. Okay, there's a second one. Can I rant for just a second? I'm so tired of hearing strangers, colleagues, anybody, male colleagues, get on my case for wearing corsets. I wear them under my blazer and over a nice blouse, so it's not like I'm dressing inappropriately, even though the dress codes are such sexist BS anyways. I hate how their misogyny gets veiled in false concern. Jen, I'm just worried you're damaging your body. You know what corsets do to livers, right? Corsets don't do anything to livers. They're definitely not hurting me as much as your condescension is hurting my head. Ugh, sorry. I'm out of sorts right now. I'll send you another email in a little bit, when I cooled off. Oh! We don't ask how I know this, but yeah, corsets, they're not, at least modern corsets, right? They don't damage organs, right? You know, corsets in previous times, there is something to the material and to how tight a user can lace, right? And so, you know, the standard or how tight a corset had to be, the waist had to be much more smaller than what they currently have to be at. So there's a lot of things that contribute to that. But if the question is, do modern corsets hurt people? Generally, the answer is no, right? But you do have to do your research, and you do have to be not safe, because that implies that it's dangerous, right? But if you want it to be comfortable, again, definitely do your research, because there's things that people do because they didn't do their research, and then like they get uncomfortable using corsets. So for example, one of those, do not sleep with a corset. It has been something that happens, right? Don't sleep with a corset. Don't sleep with it. It's kind of like contact lenses, right? You can wear them. Technically, they can become dangerous if handled improperly, right? And one of those advices that they tell you for contact lenses, don't sleep with them. right? You can't even take a nap with them because contact lenses, the issue with sleeping or taking a nap, right, is that since they're on your eyes and your eyes do need air, right? When you sleep, your eyes are not getting enough air because the contact lens is covering that. So it could cause issues. Um, Now, there are some very specific contact lenses that you can sleep with, right? And these contact lenses, they're only for sleeping. That's how they work. You put them on when you're gonna go to sleep, and you take them off when you're awake. Because they're eye correction lenses. I think that's what they're called. But again, do your research. Whether it be contact lenses or corsets. If there's something you're interested in, but you're not too sure about it, research. Always. No. You're, you're like the bad influence in the chat. Traditional burials typically require embalming, which preserves the body and prevents it from decomposing as quickly. Unless the family requests otherwise, all traditional burials will use embalming. Let's start by cleaning the body. Click on the sponge and drag it. But you know, Jennifer Ramsey, it's also a common thing, right? You would think that learned people would like have a better attitude, but sometimes it isn't the case. In order to break rigor mortis, you have to massage the body. Click and drag over the body to massage it. The eye will deflate once the body starts decomposing. Click and drag an eye cap into each socket to give it a shape. These are eye caps. Interesting. To keep the eyes shut, you need to glue them. Click and drag the glue onto each eye to shut it. The mouth sags and hollows once the body starts decomposing. Click and drag a cotton ball into the mouth to give a shape. To keep the mouth from opening, you need to suture it shut. Click and drag the needle and thread over the jaw to close it. Okay. Interesting. Click and drag the lotion over the body to moisturize it. This prevents the skin from drying out. Embalming involves removing blood and replacing it with preserving chemicals. Click and drag the scalpel over the neck to make an incision. You know, talking about preserving chemicals, do you guys know that since we use so many preserving chemicals, or let's call them ingredients, right? Preserving ingredients in food that in essence people from this what call it, from this time period, right? Yeah. From this time period, when they die, their body is pretty preserved already. I will need to like Google to look specifically for the name of the phenomenon. But yeah, bodies, people that from let's say millennial, you can even potentially say boomer generation, right? But bodies that come from like those generations and to present, they're already pretty preserved just because of how many preservatives we use in food. It's an interesting fact to know, especially on the topic of embalming. You're going to need a tube for draining the blood. Click on the tube and drag it into the neck incision. to... wait, that's the wrong one. Click on the cannula and drag it onto the carotid artery. This is how you'll get the preserving chemicals into the bloodstream. Cannula. Now you need to connect the embalming machine to the cannula. Grab some additional tubing and drag it to the cannula. Wait. Additional tubing. Okay. Click the button on the embalming machine to turn it on. In order to evenly distribute the chemicals, you have to massage them through the body. Click and drag over the body to massage it. It's interesting to know all the steps that go into doing this, right? This is kind of like, obviously like a filtered version, but I guess for anybody that's considering going into this profession, this can serve as some type of reference. Great, now let's sew up that incision. Click and drag the needle and thread it over the incision to close. Almost done. You need to drain the organs of any remaining fluids. Click on the trocar, then click and hold the abdomen until all the liquids have been drained. This is a trocar. Okay. That one didn't finish. And you're done! Mike will take care of Mr. Duvall's makeup as well as dressing and putting him in his casket. It's time to attend the funeral. And as usual, we'll start from the back room and then move onwards towards paying our respects. Came out of nowhere. I mean, it always sorta does, doesn't it? Yeah, 1 minute you're laughing, having fun, and then the next, poof, that person is gone. Just like, gone. Yeah, it's weird to think about for too long. Like staring at the sun, I start to feel fuzzy when I think about it. So weird how our bodies just stop working like that. Yeah. So strange not seeing most people wearing white. White? Yeah, I think it's different for different family members. I can't remember. I haven't gone to many traditional funerals. So mostly white, but like, definitely not red, no matter what. Okay. He always wanted to take his grandkids to the park, play catch. He loved playing catch. He threw a mean curveball, that's for sure. Okay, the kid on the game, humming to himself. You know, again, kid might seem disrespectful because, you know, we were looking at the rules, right? Not being on cell phones, or like trying to like engage or be in the moment, right? He's spoken, and that might actually be a coping mechanism. I'm not kidding, right? You know, his final moments for Grandpa. Oh my god, it's always so difficult. But we pay our respects. Just for you, I'm finding the extension. That's a timer. The timeout. You should have been timeout for that comment. Oh no. December 2. You know, what I find curious about this game is that we've been going through time, in essence, month by month, right? And even longer than that. Last one was in October, this one's in December. But we're traveling through time. Alright. From Funerals Monthly, LGBTQ Funerals, Respect. If you've been a long-time subscriber to our emails or follow us on social media, you've no doubt heard about the misgendering that transgender people are, at times, subjected to during their funerals. There have been notable situations where trans women have had their wishes overruled by their families and have had their hair cut, are buried under the wrong names, and subjected to the wrong pronouns in their obituary announcements. We care a lot about this because we believe in treating every person with the same level of compassion, respect, and care. And this absolutely extends to pronouns and respecting the deceased's wishes as per their lived experiences. The CDC's Funeral Director Handbook on Death Registration and Fetal Death Reporting offers the fraud directive. Enter male or female based on observation. Do not abbreviate or use other symbols. The sex cannot be determined after verification with medical records, inspection of the body, or other sources. Enter unknown. Do not leave this item blank. Leaving it up to observation obviously enters into a world of issues since bodies can be so different, and because of ingrained bias, people could. I'm dying a little bit. Uh, People can draw incorrect assumptions based on their own inaccurate observations. California has passed what is known as the Respect After Death Act, which states that the death certificate must reflect the deceased's gender identity as they lived it. So, a step in the right direction. People who are trans deserve the same respect and death that people who are cisgendered receive. Misgendering and death takes away this respect. It can also inflict hurt and trauma on spouses and friends that survived the deceased. So, what can we do as funeral directors? Listen to the people who come into your office. In America especially, some marriages may not be recognized as legal depending on the laws around same-sex marriages. But this doesn't mean you're not dealing with two people who have loved each other in the same way as another couple. Listen, learn, and always be respectful. While you have to work with the next of kin, your duty is also to ensure the deceased receives the utmost respect in their burial. If a funeral is to honor the deceased, then do that. Honor them. I ran out of water. Ladies, but when I think about it, right? Bodies, they're borrowed. Yeah, just be respectful to people in general. If if they say something and they communicate about it, just follow it through. There's no need to like get your head stuck in a headspace. Yeah, at least when it comes to this topic, bodies they're borrowed, they're vessels, right? And because they're temporary vessels, there is no need to focus too much on the vessel itself, right? Think the best way to think about it is like, I don't know, clothing, I guess, right? Clothes, you wear them, people can see them, they can like say something about you because choosing clothes, you have to like consciously choose it, for example. But at the end of the day, clothes, they're just like utility. You change them, and as far as I know, it's like that with bodies as well, right? Oh, but on a longer scale, on a bigger scale. So, yeah, at the moment, you're a guy, but next time, might be a cat. It, there's no need to focus too much on bodies, to be honest. Or like, and even genders. They're, they're social, right? Uh, I remember studying this in some of my anthropology courses, right? But I can't remember some of those names. But yeah, I think in general, just it comes down to like be respectful of people, please. Alright, from Matthew Jeffrey. Paycheck coming late, sorry. I don't like the look of this. Not one bit. I know you only been with us for a few months, but maybe you're aware of the trouble Amy has been having. A small mom and pop shop like Rose and Daughters can't compete with the bigger guys. Anyway, don't tell Amy I sent this to you. Also, I'm starving, so I'm going to grab some fast food before taking a here's through the car wash, 2 birds, 1 stone, and swinging back to the home. Do you want anything? A beer and cheddar? A Oh my gosh. The unconscious is speaking. No alcohol. A beef and cheddar. I'm going to take the here's through the drive-thru. Of course, it freaks people out. I love it. They get so awkward. Let me know. I'm heading out in 15. Right, and you know it does. It does. But cheddar fries, loaded potatoes. We'll continue with the email. Hey Matthew, this is embarrassing, but it seems I miscalculated some of our income and I don't have enough to pay you this week. Would it be terrible inconvenient if I cut you a check for the next week instead? If you need the money urgently, please let me know. I feel terrible about this whole thing, and I can cut you a check from my personal account if need be. I'm so sorry about this. I assure you it won't happen again. Take care, Amy Rose. Okay. I'm not too sure how solid this advice is, right? But apparently for this type of work and let's say hunger, they do kind of connect, right? Because this type of work, the topic, serious, heavy, right? For some people, definitely not something that they want to be involved with, right? So this is an account from my sister. But when she was studying to not nursing, because she wanted to be a doctor, but you know they do have them go through some training. When she was studying for that, one of the teachers, professors, instructors, there we go. One of the instructors asked them if they were hungry, if there was salivating. Some people said yes, some people said no. And the instructor did tell them that for the people that were hungry, well, you know, watching work being done, right? So for the people that they were hungry, the instructor said that they had the stomach or they had the attitude to be able to work in the industry. Because they're not necessarily put off by the work. And because sometimes eating can be tied to psychology, right? If you're uncomfortable, you're less likely to eat, right? And if the person does not feel comfortable with the work, they're less hungry. At least that's my take on it. He did tell them something like that, but I'm not sure how well it actually holds. I don't think he did ever explain to them why that little test, but you know, I guess a little story, because I was just reminded about that. From Genlove, meet cutes for test positive cuties? Wait, what? Charlie, I was doing some reading. I know, you hate when I try to give you dating advice, but hear me out. There's this dating site that's specifically for people working in the test industry. Okay, so maybe I'm a little worried for you. You haven't mentioned anybody since the breakup of 2014 that we will never speak of again after this moment. But you're always saying how tired you get of people being scared to ask about your day. So maybe meeting somebody in the industry isn't the worst idea? Just promise me you'll consider it, okay? It's harder for me to make sure you're seeing sunlight when I'm all the way across the ocean. I know you look like a babe with pale skin and witchy gothy aesthetics are super hot right now, but vitamin D is still a good thing. Mom rant's over. I'm going to try it out, because turns out people get super scared off when you tell them you work in a museum filled with dead bodies. Do you know how not interesting other people find teratomas? Charlie, I didn't know we were this weird to outside people. I've been spoiled by having a best friend who is as much of a weirdo as I am. Miss you. Let's grab a bottle of wine for our next Skype date. P.S. If you sign up for Dead Meat, isn't that the best name for a death industry dating website? Tinder rules apply. You had to like me if you come across my profile or whatever. I'm not sure how it will work just yet, though. Teratomas. You know, okay, I can't blame them. There is a lot of things that are very interesting, and like, at least for me, if it haunts me, I had to know more, right? Because the lack of knowledge is more scarier than like the confrontation of something that can be disturbing, right? So I know a little bit about teratomas, but I can see how it could put off people because at least in my case, right? I just need to know. But for some other people, they don't want to see it. Alright, forwarded thank you from Amy Rose. Passing on this lovely thank you note. Hi Amy, thank you for the wonderful evening you and your staff put together for my father's funeral. He wasn't always an easy man to get along with, but I'm glad to have seen him off in such a kind way. Thank you, Lizzie. Okay, and this is the new one. Hello Charlie, today's funeral is for a woman who died from breast cancer. Nothing fancy, just a standard cremation. Please don't hesitate to ask me if you have any questions. Best, Amy Rose. I know that the website is here in general, right? But does the website actually change as time passes on? You know, because we have discovered that they're going through like some financial difficulty, right? So do the prices change? Does a new person show up? Before we cremate Miss Hall, we'll need to prepare her body. Miss Hall's family brought clothing and jewelry for her to wear. It's important to remove these before the cremation process as not to damage them. Let's start by removing Miss Hall's necklace. Okay, insert a purple tray. We need to be able to identify Miss Hall's remains after she's been cremated. Click and drag the round identification tag and place it in the coffin. I'm guessing this is made of metal or something. That's heat resistant. Great, Miss Hall is all set to be cremated now. Are the offices actually like this? This is a cremulator. Contrary to popular belief, cremation doesn't turn bodies into ash so much as bone fragments. Using the cremulator will break these bone fragments down into ash-like remains. Let's start by placing the urn in the cremulator. Here? Okay. What is this? Now that all the bones have been processed, click and drag the urn back onto the counter. Hold the lid. Make sure to put Miss Hall's necklace back into the urn. Click on the necklace and drag it to the urn. Okay. Okay. All done. Amy will take the urn to the funeral parlor and present it alongside some flowers. Well, let's go and pay our respects. This is nice in a weird way. She liked that we're all here, talking. She always tried to keep the family together. The food is delicious. I know that's weird, but these crab cakes are perfect. Glad she was cremated and not like in an open casket or something. Seeing her like that, I don't know if I could have. At least we all got to say goodbye. She would have liked that. She fought really hard. She was proud of herself. She never gave up, not once. She would have hated this music. She never wanted her funeral to be sad. She would have wanted us smiling. She said so. Okay. I'm kind of wondering again, cause I don't know much about this, right? You should have paid her happy. You're cancelled. You're cancelled. February 14th. Okay, so December, January. Yeah, it's been 1 or 2 months. But I'm just wondering. I thought to a certain point the family was the one that like did manage. Maybe they rented like the space, right? But they were the ones that managed like the music or some of the other things. Is it actually that the services are the ones that manage that completely? Alright. No, that's true. They are doing their best, but yeah, uh, it's understandable to be honest. Being overwhelmed or like just never crossing your mind. Because again, we know these type of services exist, but we don't actually know much about them. That's why this game is so nice. Alright, from Funerals Monthly, keep on protecting Earth for green burials. You live your life mindful of the environment, doing your part to do. If I can talk, if I can read. Normally, I don't have this many issues with it, right? Normally. But just today, so much stuttering, so much mispronunciation. Doing your part to reduce pollution and generally help out where you can. So why not continue doing that even in death? At least that's the thinking for a lot of people who are turning to green or natural burials. Natural cemeteries are becoming more popular and are focused on a few rules. Mainly, it's that bodies aren't allowed to be embalmed with chemicals that can damage the environment, and bodies must be buried in a biodegradable shroud or casket. Not only is this better for the environment, it's also cheaper. A Union Cemetery in Ontario, Canada, a natural burial is just over $1,000. So better for the people, the environment, just maybe not so good for big business. Let's not forget, people, this is still a business after all. But really, why go green? Green burials help preserve natural resources, work to reduce carbon emissions, protect the health of those preparing bodies, and preserve natural habitats. Embalming fluids tend to contain formaldehyde, and funeral directors report a higher incidence of leukemia. Going green and not using toxic chemicals for embalming helps protect funeral directors, while at the same time lessening the impact we have on the environment after we're gone. We here at Funerals Monthly think green burials are pretty cool. What do you think? Reply and let us know. You know, reading this, it just makes me question. Why use formaldehyde in the first place? Like, yes, preservation, right? But how did that started? Like, cause I'm pretty sure that burials didn't start off like that, right? So where and when did the use of formaldehyde come to be so popular when it comes to the process of burying someone? Alright, from Jen. A challenger approaches. Charlie, I've been playing a new game when things are slow at work. It's called Tales from the Crypt Sweeper. Get it? Get it? It's like Minesweeper but way harder. Like seriously, it's really, really difficult. And I thought my Minesweeper game was on point after working that overnight from desk job at the hotel for 3 years. But I must have gotten rusty. Anyway, instead of mines, you want to avoid graves so you don't disturb the adorable ghosts. The main character also kinda looks like you. Want to start a healthy competition? High score gets to pick the restaurant we go to where one of us is in town next. Okay. So this is... What does this mean? Okay, this is how to restart. Symbols. Does this mean that there's like... This is it. This is the stream. It's just a Minesweeper now. It had to be in the corner. We'll go from corner to corner, to be honest. But the symbols... Right click flag. Oh, okay. I actually never played Minesweeper. Like, I know about it, I've seen it. Never actually got down to playing it, so... I know in theory that Minesweeper, the numbers I show you tells you like how close nearby the mines are, right? But haven't tried it fully. From Amy Rose. I don't know what to do. I thought I will forward this to you. In situations like this, we typically connect people like Ryan with a grief counselor or other professionals who can really help him. Sometimes we get emails like this, when people don't know where else to turn to. It's difficult, and family isn't always the most reliable for some people. Usually I would be happy to connect him, but I'm feeling a little tired today. Not my usual self, and it will be good for you to start building these kind of relationships on your own. You're a treasure, Charlie. Okay, so our client, his name is Ryan. Hi Amy, I know this email might be a bit off, but you said if I was ever having trouble, I should reach out. And you will know somebody I could talk to about all of this. I don't know what to do now. I know my grandmother had lived a full, good life and was very happy. And that she's not in any pain now, but I feel empty, Amy. I never felt this empty before. What am I supposed to do now? I thought I was stronger than this. Can you refer me to someone to talk to? I don't want to freak out my mom right now. She's dealing with enough, with work and the will, and trying to just be the best mom she can. I just need somebody to tell me that it will be okay. Thank you, and I'm sorry for being any inconvenience. Ryan. Oh. So this is we're taking care of Ryan's grandma, so our next job. Hi Charlie, please see the note below about the pacemaker. They can be tricky. Best, Amy. Hi Amy, you just asked if there were any special instructions we wanted to pass along. Just please cremate my father. He has a pacemaker too. The doctor told me that will need to be removed. Thanks, Mariana. Right, and we'll read the rest of the emails before going to the job. I don't know if there's anything special about like actually finishing the Minesweep, right? But you know, we'll finish reading the emails and then we'll get on to actually doing our job. Charlie, I thought you'd like to see this thank you note. Hi Amy, I am so eternally grateful that you were able to accommodate our request for my sister's funeral. It was a beautiful service, and she will have been happy with it. That's such a weird thing to say, isn't it? Thank you again, from the bottom of my heart. Sincerely, Margareta. Alright, and news about the future of Rose and Daughter's funeral home. Hi all, it is with a very heavy heart that I write to let you know that Rose and Daughters will no longer be in business. I had no idea how to start this email, and resources I Google told me that will be the best and easiest way to break the ice. Be direct but remorseful, Google said. The truth is, I don't really know what to say. Since my father passed away, I've done my best to make Rose and Daughters warm and friendly to anyone who chose to use our services. It was my memorial to him, the original Rose, in a lot of ways. and you all become like family, including you, Charlie, our most recent addition. But it's been getting harder to make ends meet. Rent is going up in the neighborhood, and I'm finding less and less like I have the energy for this business. There's a lot of competition from other funeral homes, larger corporations than we are that can take on more business and offer more impressive services. You know the way it goes. So we've been bought or I sold. Either way, soon Hillside Heritage Enterprise Incorporation, a company that owns many funeral homes in the city and across the country, will replace Rose and Daughters starting from the beginning of next month. Same building, same name. They're keeping the name Rose and Daughters Funeral Home for tax purposes, though honestly, I'm trying hard not to just see it as a move on their part to keep up the image that it's a family-run business. I don't know how I feel about that, but I also don't know if there's anything I can do at this point either. I signed the papers. At least my father's legacy is still intact, somewhat. They have a good reputation, and I have agreed to keep you all on. That was one of my stipulations. I will sell as long as you all weren't without a job. Sorry I didn't tell you in a more personal way. I would have loved to have a company lunch, but admittedly, I didn't have the heart to tell you in person. This was easier for me. Please understand. Sincerely, Amy Rose. Oh my gosh. Again, a friend has played the game, told us a little bit about it. And we're gonna meet, due to these recent events, we're gonna meet someone very, very special that I'm sure you guys are gonna feel very warm up to. Mr. Reyes came directly from the hospital, so we don't have to worry about removing any valuables from him, as the family did not provide any for us to include. However, Mr. Reyes has a pacemaker that we'll need to remove before cremation. Because pacemakers are batteries that would explode inside the hot heat of the cremation machine, and we definitely don't want that. Let's start by removing Mr. Reyes' pacemaker. Okay. I mean, I guess that makes sense. The batteries will explode inside the machine, and that's why it's a concern. Using the cremulator will break these bone fragments down into ash-like remains. Alright, all done. Amy will take the urn to the funeral parlor and present it alongside some flowers. And now, you know, one of the clients that asked about like potential help, are we actually gonna discuss that with him in this fragment? Did you ever end up clearing the air with your father? No. We talked a few times, but no, not really. He sounded like a difficult man. He was stubborn. That's just it. Stubborn. What do you want to do after this? It's pretty nice though. Let's change and go find a patio somewhere. Sounds good. I could really use a beer right now. Hey, did I ever tell you the time we tailgated? I'm not too sure, but I think they're not very interested in the funeral. I always told him to quit smoking, but of course, he never listened to me, so that figures. I wonder if he ever liked me. He was nice to me, but I don't know. He never seemed like he really cared if I was there or not. It being like that. We pay our respects. Did we I had to reply in the email to the, but I didn't see any option to do that. I think that's just to give us context of what Charlie does outside of just preparing the bodies. Alright. From Funeral Monthly. Thanks for always saying at a funeral. Welcome back! Now, we rarely do listicles here, but for this month's newsletter, we thought a listicle would be the best way to deliver this month's advice. Well, not to say at a funeral. We know figuring out the right thing to say to a grieving friend can be extremely difficult, and since that's such a personal issue, it's hard to give specific advice. Some things will be more comforting to other people, but fortunately, we can deliver a little bit more solid advice on what not to say to someone who is grieving. So here it is, Funerals Monthly Top 5 Things to Not Say at a Funeral. At least they're no longer suffering. Even if this is true, nobody wants to hear this. It's probably not your place to dictate. Once to be told that the death of somebody they love is for the best. Like I said, even if it's true, don't be that jerk and don't say it. Number 2. Where they say you? No religious statements, just don't. Why? Because not everyone agrees with your religious views, and not only is not always comforting, it can also be insulting. Number 3. They're with the angels now. See above note, then rinse and repeat. Number 4. Let me know how I can help you. This one's tricky. You want to help, but those in mourning won't always ask for help. If you want to help, suggest specific things. For example, I'm free if you need someone to babysit the kids. Actions are better than passive statements. Cook something for them. Take them to their favorite restaurant. Or buy tickets to see a movie together. Number 5. I know how you feel. Even if you think you do, everyone grieves differently. Don't focus this on yourself. Empathy doesn't all involve having to commiserate. Sometimes people will want to hear your experiences, but don't assume they will. Ask first. For a quicker version of this list that can be applied in any situation, don't say stuff just for the sake of saying stuff. Just say, I'm sorry, if you don't know what else to say. Again, you're cancelled. Oh gosh. Yeah, that's out. That's out. Unless the person that has passed away specifically said, like in their will, like a note, sign, whatever evidence, right? That they wanted someone to show up to their funeral to say that. It's a no. Just no. Right, mushrooms. You hate mushrooms so much, I found the perfect thing for you. I've been thinking about this. I know. Shocker. Look what you've done to me. I think I want this mushroom suit. No, it's not called that. But I can't remember the name of it, and I'm writing you on my phone so I don't feel like googling it right now. Anyways, the idea is that it's a biodegradable suit that the deceased wears. It's made with what people call a biomeds, i.e. mushrooms and other microorganisms that help to decompose bodies, neutralize toxins in the body, and provide nutrients for the soil for plants. I think this one company even offers casket liners for use in green caskets. I think this is what I want. I'll be just like Hannibal. Wait, don't tell people I said that, okay? But seriously, it's pretty cool. I love all the death innovation happening. We might as well do something when we're in the ground, you know? Love you. Think about it and let me know your thoughts. I want all of your thoughts. If it's not this, then maybe I'll have my ashes made into jewelry. But seriously, I'm probably going to do this. There's no harm in planning ahead, am I right? Yeah, I actually know about that one. That, rather than get buried, similar to this, the ashes person gets cremated, right? But their ashes, instead of being put in the urn, they're used to make artworks or jewelry. So you can have for example, a painting made with your grandpa's ashes. Or you can have like a jewelry set made with grandma's ashes that you can wear. Because for some people that's comforting. Still feeling like that sense of being close to the person. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna keep reading the email. That last one doesn't exist. Out of sight, out of mind. Charlie, I was hoping you wouldn't have to confront the situation yet. Anyways, they're never easy. Rose and Daughters has been asked to prepare the body of a young man who took his own life. He had a will prepared and asked for cremation, but the family has amended a traditional burial instead. Unfortunately, he didn't make anyone his power of attorney or didn't have any witnesses sign his living will or his advance directive regarding these wishes. So his family is legally in the right to do whatever they want with his body. It's unfortunate, but we have to do as his family wishes. Matthew has graciously offered to take this on if you're uncomfortable with the subject. Instead, we have a second body you can prepare for a funeral we're hosting later in the afternoon. Charlie, is this suicide something you're comfortable dealing with? Let me know. I'm here if you need. Amy Rose. Alright, if I were to take on the job, the client's manual. Good day, Miss Rose. Disregard our son's will as it concerns matters of his burial. He was clearly not thinking right and didn't know what he really wanted. Proceed with an open casket funeral. As for payment, we'll bring a check. He's a fisherman. I can see the fish right there. I'll read the next email before replying. Alright, so we're getting forwarded the email. Hi Amy, I just wanted to thank you for the service the other month, and apologize if I was abrupt. It was kind of a shock for me, and I didn't feel comfortable with the whole process. He wasn't supposed to die yet. It hasn't been easy. Ariana. I mean, the website still looks about the same. This is definitely one of the tougher ones. You know, yes, the situation can be avoided for now, but it won't be the case all the time. So it's better to already pace ourselves into it, especially since we still have the support of Amy with us, right? She seems like a very nice person, like a very good boss, right? So while we still have that support, I think it's better to attempt this. The deceased family has asked for an open casket funeral. Let's start by cleaning the body. Okay, this is usually where I get kind of confused. No, I got kind of quiet for now, right? But I'm kind of focusing on just doing this and taking it as an opportunity to give my boys a little break. There's a lot of reading in this game, and so I'm definitely feeling it. All done. Mike will take care of Mr. Scott's makeup as well as dressing and putting him in his casket. Now to pay our respects. Okay. I wish we were closer. Wow. I still can't believe this is real. My baby brother. I should have played more games with him when he asked. I heard it wasn't going to be an open casket. I'm surprised. It's public. Usually funerals for these circumstances are more private. I still can't believe he did it. I feel like I should have known, you know? Been able to do something to stop it. There was no way to know. You can't blame yourself. He wouldn't have wanted that. I know. It's just... it hurts. Yeah, I know. Definitely March 3. Definitely interesting between the wishes of the deceased and the family. You know, at least from what I understood about that situation, that sense of regret is the reason why they wanted like the open casket like one last time to look at him, right? But then it goes against the desires of the deceased. Definitely a difficult situation. Anyways. From Funerals Monthly. Different funeral traditions. Funeral rites, even in our own culture, may be something many of us may be unfamiliar with. For many people, all they know of funeral traditions are what they've seen in media. But, and I think this goes without saying, funeral rites and traditions aren't the same across the board. Different cultures have different protocols for cleaning the body to different aspects of the service itself. Religion provides different paths for dealing with death, but the goal is almost always the same, offering support, guidance, and ease to the people who are grieving. In Judaism, I can't pronounce art in here. No. No. That's not what's happening right now. See, this is what I could talk about. Sometimes some people, when things get a little difficult, they laugh, right? And when I can't pronounce something, or like I'm having some difficulties, you're trying so hard to reverse this on me, but like, you're the sussy one. Alright, in Judaism, interment usually begins immediately after somebody has passed. Up until burial, the body is never supposed to be alone, so often families will appoint a shomer, a guardian, to remain with the body. Preparations for burial begin as soon as possible in Muslim traditions as well. Local Islamic community organizations are also often involved and help the family make arrangements for the funeral services and burial. But not all practices are strictly religiously focused. In the aughts in South Korea, the amount of graveyard space begins to shrink drastically, causing a law to be passed that requires families to remove a loved one's body from its burial place after 60 years. Many families begin to cremate more often. There are also companies that compress remains into beads in turquoise, pink, or black called death beads. This also occurs in North America, Europe, and Japan, but remains much more common in South Korea because of the space issues in graveyard and the expenses of cremation. And not all practices are somber either. Ever heard of the turning of the bones or ma? I hope I'm not butchering some of this, but I probably am. Famadihana, a ritual by the Malagasy people of Madagascar. Famadihana has a family's return to ancestral crypt, exhumed the bodies wrapped in cloth before dancing with the bodies to lively music. This practice is a celebration, remembrance, and way of keeping the deceased involved in family meals. Death can be a difficult time for many people, obviously, but that doesn't mean there isn't a beauty in the way we choose to honor and celebrate our deceased. From Jen, you're invited to attend a death cafe. Can't really write much right now. I have a lot of work I had to do with an I have a lot of work to do with an inguinal hernia from 1750. It's the oldest in our collection, and you can even see this bit of paper the surgeon put in after removing the hernia. Super cool. I'll send you the link when we have it cataloged. What is my life? What is that sentence I just typed? But anyway, this event that I'm forwarding you is taking place near you. Figured you'd be into it. Might help with that feeling of restlessness you were talking about before. Could be a good to talk about some of the things you're feeling. Lots of dead positive people there. Sounds like it'll be a safe space. Alright, the Death Cafe. Come increase awareness of death with a view to helping people make the most of their finite lives. Join us, have a tea and cake, and talk with others about our thoughts, fears, and illuminations on death. The founder of the Death Cafe movement, John Underwood, once said, "When people talk about death and dying, it tends to illustrate their humanity." See everyone at the Upside Down Jar next Thursday. I mean, I agree with that last statement from the email, right? That sometimes you get to see more sides to people when you talk about difficult topics. You know, it goes, at least how I think about it, right? If you keep ignoring death, right, to a certain point you also ignore life. Because death, to a certain point, helps bring appreciation to the fact that things are temporary, right? So focusing too much on, like, for example, prestige, or focusing too much on, like, the work grind, it becomes null, it becomes meaningless when death approaches. So what is actually important to you? And are you doing what you feel is important to you? I think that brings that type of question. Alright, from Chad Grant to Charlie. Charlotte, below... he did that, he did this one on purpose. The Charlotte. He had to have done that on purpose, right? Because, is this... Charlotte, below are the details for our next client. Ensure you follow the requests, specifically... I can speak. I know I can. Ensure you follow the requested specifications exactly. After you are done, I will review your work in order to properly evaluate you at the end of the month. Now we're getting evaluated? Chad Grant, CEO and Managing Funeral Director, Hillside Heritage Enterprises Incorporation, Rose and Daughters Division. The review at the end of the month. You know, I think we give him the chance, right? Maybe it's because we're all new to each other, right? No, that doesn't necessarily know any better, right? Alright, from Matthew Jeffrey. What the hell? Can I just say, first off, that this is all bullcrap. Ugh, knowing how these corporations run, I wouldn't be surprised if they're monitoring our emails now. No, okay, I don't really believe that. I'm just upset. I get that Amy didn't have much of a choice. You can only fight a huge corporation taking all of your business for so long. This isn't 6 feet under. and they just swoop in, and now we have to deal with their BS practices. They're colder than the corpse I picked up from the morgue this morning. Who charges this much for funerals? It feels dirty and explosive. Let's grab a drink after work. I need to blow off some steam. And emails aren't really the most appropriate place to do this. Too late for me, I guess. P.S. If you're reading this, Hillside Overlord? Good. Hillside Overlord. The complaints. The Rosen Daughters, operated by Hillside Heritage Enterprise. Oh, no. Oh, I just read like a little bit of that. Oh, no. Alright, well. Rosen Daughters is a newest funeral home to join Hillside Heritage, proudly serving 56 different communities nationwide since 1964. Rosen Daughters features several available packages for burial and cremations, a spacious visitation suite for added comfort, and catering available on site. Rely on our dedicated and friendly staff to help you with your funeral needs, whether you need our immediate assistance for a loved one or would like to pre-plan your own final arrangements. Our services. We offer many packages fitted to suit every size of gathering and budget. Ask us about our selection of caskets, urns, and headstones, the largest in the country. Actually though, if anything that doesn't have a price, when you're like trying to look for a service or like to buy it, if it doesn't have a price, that's not good. Same goes for like when you apply to jobs, right? If a job listing doesn't have the hourly or the monthly pay, right? That's not good either. That's suspicious as hell. Cause I've seen from job listings that they'll just put the yearly pay, right? And like they'll put a range. It's never good. Cause you know, from the yearly pay, yeah, it could be like that maybe at the end of the year, but like on the monthly, it can be so uneven that it just makes you struggle more than like help you out. Anyway, funeral packages. Bronze Funeral Package, an intimate gathering and memorial for your loved ones. Customized to fit your individual needs, best suited for groups of 25 to 50. Silver Funeral Package, a small but special celebration for your loved one, best suited for groups of 50 to 100. Gold Funeral Package, give your loved one the best with the best we have to offer. A large gathering to celebrate your loved one, best suited for groups over 100. Subject to additional fees and taxes, payment plans available. No. Alright, so, from chat. We are pleased to bring on Rosen Daughters as part of Hillside Heritage Enterprise Incorporation. There will be another institution amongst hundreds of other properties owned across the country. But of course, as part of the adjustment process to the Hillside Heritage Enterprise Incorporation culture, there will be a number of changes that will come to Rosen Daughters. We will send out a memo regarding the specifics and details of these changes, and we expect them to be followed impeccably. Glad to be leading the way for Rosen Daughters from now on. Alright. This is a job. Charlotte. The valuation. Alright, we didn't look at this bottom part. Thank you, Mr. Grant, for agreeing to take care of Jocelyn's cremation. The bike accident was, well, it was more than I was expecting. I know she wanted to be cremated, and to be honest, I don't think I could bear seeing her like that after what happened. Thank you, Leah. Are we gonna see Chad in the funeral? Oh, you know, we read a lot of articles from Funeral Monthly, right? Are we gonna see him like break some of those rules? Okay. Yeah, I don't know about that. Just, I mean, the name's been done on purpose, right? Not because he's built different, but you know, stereotypes, I guess. This urn, the birds, the bird descent, it's very nice. All done. Matty will take Miss Lonesco's urn to the funeral parlor and present it alongside some flowers. Miss, my bad. I feel, compared to some of the other funerals, there is more people, at the very least. Does the lobby actually change depending on what package to buy? Should we do a vigil at the spot? Careless drivers, I swear to God. I'm glad I'm here, but wow, I just need a glass of wine and to binge watch something right now. Yeah. I had to go through all of her things. How am I supposed to decide what to keep? If you need help, I can help. No, thanks, but no, I don't know. It's so intimate. Feels like I should do it myself. She will kill me if others saw the things we have. Yeah, she was kind of a closed book, except to you. Yeah. She was special. She was always so careful, wore her helmet, signal, use the bike lanes. Asshole drivers, they need to pay attention. Have you heard what's happening to the driver? No, I haven't wanted to ask Leah. This has been hard enough on them, without asking about the legal ramifications of all of this. Yeah, after all this, let's see what we can do to help them. Shouldn't deal with the deaths of their partner all by themselves. So glad it was a cremation. I would have lost it, seeing her body. Now we pay our respects. Will chat actually forward to us the messages from the customers? Is he gonna use some of those against us for like our evaluations, quote unquote? From the questionable company practices? Rome funerals monthly. Home funerals. Why do it? No, he's gotta think about like. Oh my gosh. Anyways, to the email. I'll keep this in mind once I go back to Lobotomy Corporation and I have to send your character to do tasks. The appeal of a home funeral is apparent for many, especially if the deceased was somebody very close to you. The idea of keeping them at home until they are ready to be buried or cremated can be comforting. It wasn't that long ago that we were taking care of our own deceased, but nowadays people are quick to pass off their loved ones to a funeral home. Most families aren't given the option, and assume this is mandatory. Funeral homes will almost always prepare the deceased using embalming and other methods to make them appear more alive. But isn't this process counterintuitive to the grieving process? Being around the deceased allows the bereaved to spend a longer period of time with their loved one's body, which can help them mourn or give opportunities to family members and friends to see the deceased one last time before they are taken to be buried or cremated. The idea of keeping the deceased body at home might sound gross, but it's important to understand that decomposition takes a long time, and you can further slow this process by keeping your home cool and dry. To be around your loved ones and to see them decay naturally is an important part of the grieving process. Home funerals aren't just more intimate, but they are economical. A traditional funeral, complete with body preparation, service, flowers, cards, and many other hidden costs and fees, can cost upwards of $7,000 to $10,000. Bro. 7,000 to 10,000. When you're able to take care of your loved ones yourself, to wash and dress them, and to organize their viewing from home, the only cost remaining is entirely in the cremation or burial itself. $7,000, but it's hidden fees, you know? Is this like. Is this. Is. Is. Okay. Okay. Wait, let me organize my thoughts. I wanna say America, right? But my question is dying expensive in other countries? Do they get hidden fees like this? I know that like healthcare is better in other countries because they don't have the hidden fees, or yes, they pay more taxes, but that means that those taxes also cover so that things are more like available to the public. Hmm. Questions to maybe look up later on. With the burial costs? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay. I will need a conversion of that number to actually. Um, but it really is a question to ask, isn't it? How things are done from one place to another. But like, what gets to me is the hidden cost and fees, because it just reminds me so much of medical fees, and then some people just having like really bad times because of medical fees. However, it's important to understand that different rules apply given on what state you live in. In all states, it is legal to have your loved one's body at home after they die. States like Alabama, Connecticut, Illinois, Indiana, Louisiana, Michigan, Nebraska, New Jersey, and New York require a funeral director's involvement, from signing the death certificate to overseeing burial and cremation. If this is a route you decide to go for yourself or your loved ones, make sure you follow everything by the book. But just know that this may be an option available to you and your loved ones if you choose. That's interesting to note, or interesting to keep in mind. Um, 28,000. 28,000. We're really, as a humans, right? We're really made a business of everything, didn't we? We just really, I don't know what to say about it. Alright, from Jen, Dr. Sauce. I just saw a video of a gorilla walking on its hind legs, like a human being, Charlie. A human being. We, as a species, have seen the beginning of our end. Our friend Jen seems like a very energetic person. Alright, the newest job. Charlotte, I am proud to announce that Hillside Heritage Enterprise Incorporation received a contract with the city to dispose of any unclaimed bodies. This is an important revenue stream for us, as I'm sure I don't need to explain to you, Charlotte. Although Hillside Heritage Enterprises Incorporation is being paid a decent wage from the city for these services, cremation is preferred here as it is most cost effective of the two options. The first unclaimed body will be handling belonging to a middle-aged man, possibly homeless, whose body has yet to be claimed. No special preparations are needed for this cadaver aside from cremation. Business and unclaimed Manager tone. uh, uh, yeah. Hello, Charlotte. I have reviewed your request on behalf of potential family inquiring if we at Hillside Heritage Enterprise Incorporation can and will perform green burials. I should have informed you of this in the beginning, but we do not perform green funerals as they are not cost effective. All employees and subsidiaries of Hillside Heritage Enterprise Incorporation must comply. We do not wish to lose potential customers though, so do try your hardest to convince the families requesting green burials to instead choose a traditional burial package, complete with embalming, casket, and vaults instead. I trust you will ensure we do not lose any customers, Charlotte. No. Hmm. I wonder what's the bonus that he gets out of this, right? What's the bonus of being an asshole? Is it worth it? Charlie, I need a drink. Beer after work? Matthew J. P.S. Also, I really want mozzarella sticks. I could be both hungry and angry. And no, I would not say hangry, ever. Rules of and rules and code of conduct. Wait, huh? Oh my gosh. Hello, as stated in the previous email, here are the new rules and code of conduct I expect you to follow from now on any premises belonging to Hillside Heritage Enterprise Incorporation. First and foremost, there is a required uniform and strict dress code from now on. Second, most importantly to this is that no tattoos are to be visible. If you have visible tattoos, ensure they are properly covered and hidden. When speaking with customers and clients, consider the opportunity to upsell. That shouldn't be in rules and conduct. I.e., always encourage the deceased loved ones to purchase a higher quality package. We found that encouraging loved ones to think of the comfort and style of the deceased as an experience with no price limit on it. Additionally, food is no longer allowed to be brought in. Instead, encourage the deceased loved ones to purchase our premium sandwich and appetizer food package. Our partner catering concepts provide high quality food that will be delivered weekly from their factory and can easily be defrosted the morning of the funeral. I expect all of the above changes to be instituted effective immediate to ensure a smooth transition into high quality services Hillside Heritage Enterprise Inc. is known for. This this guy, the prophet. You see this defrosting in the morning on the funeral? I bet you he makes employees defrost in like the cremation chamber, right? He's like, it's hot enough, right? That's how like it gets defrosted very easily for the funeral service. No. Ah. Please give us Amy Rose back. Get rid of this guy. Get rid of this guy. Get rid of this guy. Okay. He doesn't seem to have any valuables on him that will be damaged during cremation. Have some compassion, man. God damn it. Profits. Chad's Chad, he's not present during the funeral. Yeah, we saw that last funeral. He wasn't there, right? He's not present. If they want to bring their food because it's a comfort to them, because it's part of the green process, right? I'll allow it. Chad doesn't need to know. Referee didn't see. Yeah, so Chad doesn't need to know. something I do want to point out. This urn. The last one had the birds, had like a decorations and that kind of stuff, and this one doesn't have it. All done. Matty will take the urn to the funeral parlor and present it alongside some flowers. Oh my gosh. I'm guessing that this is... yeah. Upselling? Oh my gosh. No. I'm gonna get written up as a bad employee. Because I'm not following some of those policies. No. Absolutely not. The write up for the month, it's gonna be great. From funerals monthly. Water everywhere, and not a drop to drink. Water cremation. We could call it a few different names. Like flameless cremation, a bit of an oxymoron, but we'll let it slide. Or perhaps more commonly, resomation. Its technical name, though, is actually alkaline hydrolysis. Whatever we want to call it, it's here, and it's an environmentally friendly alternative to traditional cremation. But for the sake of this newsletter, let's call it water cremation. We all know that traditional cremation and burials take a huge toll on the environment, the high energy consumption that adds up to the greenhouse gas effects being one of the chief amongst them. And water cremation is an alternative method available for the eco-conscious amongst. How does it work? It's basically a water-based chemical process that uses really strong alkaline and water heated up very high, about 350 Fahrenheit. It basically works like a sped up version of natural decomposition. The excess water gets put through the same water treatment process as any sewage water at a factory, and alkaline hydrolysis uses significantly less energy than traditional cremation processes. Neat, huh? It's been around for a bit, and in some places became legal around the end of the first decade of the Ox. Not a bad alternative for those who don't want their deaths to have any great impact on their environments than necessary. Okay, from our friend Jen. But I already knew that water help decompose bodies faster. But honestly, I didn't even think about cremation through water. Again, very interesting. High temperature in order to make it go faster. It's things that are known, for example, for food processing, because you don't leave meat out. Especially during hot climates, right? And then the water one, I just know it because of being stuck in the ocean. One of the issues of being stuck in the ocean, let's say from a wrecked ship and you're on a piece of wood, is that the salt water will start dissolving your skin. It usually takes some time, but unpleasant experience overall. Alright. Dating a special effects makeup artist, and she is the coolest person I ever met in my life. She totally loves Ava's possession and was equally freaked out by the possession scenes, but so utterly delighted at the idea of a support group for people who have been possessed. That was your best recommendation in a while, Charlie. You were slipping there. I was getting worried you had lost your taste. But yeah, her name is Lily, and she's super death positive and isn't freaked out by my work, and also isn't too into it. Like that last dude I saw, Jason, Michael. God, I can't remember. I just really like spending time around her. I can talk about whatever I want, and it's never a conversation stopper. She usually the she also totally gets what I mean when I say that working with that and spending so much time thinking about actually makes me happier. It makes everything else feel so much more worth it, you know? Memento Mori or whatever they taught us in that one poetry class we took. We just clicked. Feels good. Fun and affirming, like dating should be. I'm thinking of taking her to Maple Meadows. She's super into roller coasters, and I think the idea of sharing cotton candy, or maybe not, I don't want to throw up on the rides, is secondly cute. Then maybe I'll kiss her on top of a Ferris wheel. Be super corny and cliche for once in my life. Anywho, enough about me for now. I'm still kind of in shock from your last email. Do you think you're going to do it? You know you have my support, 100%, no matter what you decide. So, I was gonna say, so what is she gonna do? But like, I see that second page. I agree with her. Please, leave this dude behind. Get rid of Chad. From Matthew Jeffrey, I'm done. Charlie, it's official. I'll put in my 2 weeks notice. You know how unhappy I am working for mega corporations 101. My skills, especially my driving ones, are useful in other professions. I'm not worried about myself. But you I'm worried about. You're too good for this corporate scum. You actually care about the people you work with and for. Don't let them defeat you, okay? Matty J. P.S. I'll bring beers over next week. We can talk a bit more freely. Alright, a new job. What is it, Chad? What do you want? Charlotte, I see you were not able to convince the Dimka family to take a standard funeral. I had to contact them myself in order to not lose the sale. Please read the enclosed emails for a lesson on how to properly upsell potential customers. I don't want to see that we lost any customers because of your refusal to upsell. This is part of your job. Oh. I can't do anything to him, so I'm just... oh, he's a great guy. Yeah. He's Dear Mr. Grant, okay, we'll take the traditional funeral package. Thank you for considering us in this hard time. Best, Coffee Demka. Oh my gosh. I had to go from like the bottom and then up. Dear Mr. Grant, regarding the last time we spoke, my daughters and I will still prefer to host a home funeral ourselves and keep my wife here until she's ready to be buried. I just want to make sure she's taken care of. Her heart attack was so sudden. We don't know what to do. We just want to make sure she has a proper send-off. Thanks, Kofi Dimka. From Chad. Dear Mr. Dimka, I understand you desire to keep your wife at home, but I assure you, the best way to honor your wife is through a traditional funeral package instead. I promise you, your wife's funeral with us will be a beautiful, intimate gathering where all of her beloved friends and family can come together and say their goodbyes. A standard embalming will allow for everyone to view your wife, ensuring that everyone can see her one final time as she was, beautiful, peaceful, and courageous. Letting us take care of the food with our prepared food service will ensure you don't have to worry about a single thing on this day. You and your daughters are going through a hard time right now. Let us, here, our Rosa daughters, make this difficult time a little easier for you. Oh my gosh, Chad. But then the fact that like they took the name from Amy Rose for the business to make like, no, he will not back. I am not following that policy. You. Oh, policy upsell? Suddenly I'm blind and I can't read. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh my gosh. From Chad. Hello, we are thrilled to announce our Hillside Heritage Enterprise Inc. Corporation subsidiary Rose and Daughters to sign a contract with Morning Valley Hospital, allowing us access to all the cadavers that come through the pediatric and maternity wards. We're excited for the opportunity to work with Morning Valley Hospital, which intakes over 100,000 patients and receives over 15 million in funding and donations annually. This will no doubt be a boon for Hillside Heritage Enterprise Corporation. Bright and sustained future. National Revenue Agency, what is your business? Funeral services, business checklist. Register your business, 11 permits. If you're interested in starting a funeral service business, you may need the following permits and licenses. Article for incorporation. The applicant must file... Can I actually change the pages? No. Okay. I don't think I need to read all of this, but we understand Charlie's cookie. Yeah, Charlie wants out. I agree with Charlie. Get rid of this guy. Is it because he's the one that doesn't have to like you know, work with the body? He's like less compassionate about all of this. He doesn't show up to the funerals. He only sees the business side of it, the statistics. He doesn't do passive work. Oh my gosh. You know, I only wish for Shad to get what's coming to him, right? Whether that's good or bad, that's all depending on who he was as a person, right? Just what's coming to him. Okay, so this is gimmicky like that. Okay. But definitely taking this opportunity to give my voice a little bit of rest. Definitely a lot of reading. All done. Mike will take care of Miss Dimka's makeup as well as dressing and putting her in her casket. Mike. Wait. I think this is his last day of work, right? But I think everybody's just leaving the company. More or less about the same time. I'm starving. Why do these things always make me so hungry? You're always hungry. It's so cold in here. I think they have the air conditioning on too high. Yeah, let's go for a walk later. It's really nice out. It'll be good to stretch my legs. Do you think we did the right thing? I feel bad not doing what Mom asked for. I know, honey, but what the chat guy said seemed right. We don't want to dishonor her memory by letting her rot. Yeah, I just want Mom to know I love her. Wish I hadn't yelled at her before. Shh, it's okay. She knew you love her. Lights happen. Please don't be too hard on yourself. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to miss her. Me too. No. Delete. Comments being deleted absolutely right now. This feels so impersonal. She would have hated this. Yeah, but I don't know. He must have had their reasons. Oh hey, did you think of that trailer I sent you? Oh yeah, I heard that show is so good. Saw the video of that one kid after doing karaoke. The next body that we see on the table is just gonna be Chad. August 30, 9 a.m. Oh hey, office change? We actually did it, we went through. We got our own business. As usual, going from the bottom. From Aileen Hansen to Charlie. Dear Charlie, today's the day already, isn't it? I can't believe how quickly this has come up. Thank you for your understanding and your work. You made today easier already. See you at 1 p.m. Best, Aileen Hansen. Alright, from Jen. Congratulations on your new business. Charlie, I am so happy for you. I know it's been a rough year for you, seriously. I think our wine intake saw a bazillion% increase. But you stuck through it all like a champ. You deserve this. Finally being your own boss is a great move for you. No more having to explain anything you don't want to. I'm trying to not be too cheesy right now. Can't wait to be home next week for our visit and to check out your new space. Always, Jen. From Matthew. You'll never believe what new job I am working now. Open this email to find out. Hey, Charlie. When I first became a hearse driver, I was told that my most important job wasn't steering, it was sympathizing. I respectfully disagree. And thankfully, I concentrated on my driving skills, since I'm now working as wait for it, bus driver, a school bus driver. Charlie, can you believe that? Pretty sure I said the most important part of my job now wasn't steering. I'd be fired immediately. I didn't know how else to tell you. For some reason, I was worried you'd think less of me, but I don't know why. You've never been the judgmental kind. And besides, corpses are way easier to deal with than these children. Screaming children, might I add. I actually love it. These kids can be pretty cute, but don't tell Amy that I had told you that. She was always harping on me for not having any kids or for being all cynical about them. Congrats on your business, Charlie. Proud of you. I'll swing by your new place one day and show you my new wheels. Maybe we could grab a bite to eat. Be seeing you, Matthew. Aww, and Amy! Cheer! We hear back from Amy. Charlie dear, I am so proud of you. I knew there was something special in you when I hired you for Rose and Daughters. If there's anything I can do for you, please do not hesitate to ask. I am always happy to help. Best wishes, Amy Rose. P.S. I sorely miss you and Matthew's terrible sense of humor. Aww. I'm so sad that Amy had to sell her business. But yeah, it is difficult with how some other situations exist. Magnolia Forest, Funeral Home and Natural Burial Park. Our services. Magnolia Forest, named after the magnolia trees that surround the funeral home, specializes in at-home funerals and grief burials in our natural burial park. Our goal is to empower families and encourage them to have closer relationship with death and the dying process. The death of a loved one can be a confusing and sometimes traumatic time, and we want you to feel fully involved in your loved one's death care decisions. Whether you're looking to care for your loved ones from the comfort of your home, be present during their cremation, or bury them in our natural cemetery, Magnolia Forest is here to work with you and provide these simple but intimate and meaningful options. Natural Burial Park. Our natural burial park allows the body to return to the earth and recycle naturally. It is intended as an environmentally sustainable alternative to existing funeral practices. Our park has room for bodies of all sizes and ages, as well as beloved pets. Families also have the option to bury their loved ones themselves, if they so choose. Prices. We believe in being transparent about our prices and practices. Yeah, Chad. God. I'm pretty sure Chad never told people what the actual price of things was. Just try to get them to upsell, making it sound pretty, and then wham, bail. We are happy to explain all of our prices, work with you with your budget, and hope to make you feel comfortable and confident in your decisions. Let us know if we can answer any of your questions. Home funerals, $1,000 all inclusive. Green burial and services, $2,250 for all adults, all inclusive. Direct cremation, $600, all inclusive. Infants are buried at no charge. We could provide a 3x3 plot and help opening and closing the grave. No leads on who did it. Oh, yeah. I think, Chad was so into the business, he did it himself, right? He was one more body for the company. What a good worker. This hurts. I thought it'd be easier. Chatty Charlie talked to every person in the funeral. But it's not. It hurts so much, but thank you for helping me give her the funeral she always wanted. Anyway, I think we're ready to get started now. Rest in peace, finish a Mortician. So, I'm reading some of the achievements that are popping up. Actually, I'm happy for Charlie. She's helping people out and she made a tough decision. Some people would have just given up and continue to work with the company's policy. So, Charlie actually being able to open her own business and to continue to do what she loved. It's great. Chad, though. Chad? Yeah, company policy. Chad is not Chad. Ontario Arts Council. But again, this game, I think it's so good to just put out a conversation about this type of topic. She did. Because, again, how many people know that some of these options exist between the water cremation, between the natural burials, like the fact that you can even like hold the body at your own home, you know. Again, this game opens up a very good conversation in regards to this type of subject, which usually doesn't get talked about because it's hard to talk about it. For a lot of people, it's not something pleasant to think about, and well, just because again it doesn't get talked about so often. A lot of people don't have the information unless they work in the industry. So, I'm actually glad I played this game. This is a nice game. Good information and happy ending. Charlie continues to help people out. And because of the services that Charlie is providing, like we're natural services, right? I feel she stands a chance against the corporation that Chad works for, because their services are like less personal. They're like trying to upsell, not very environmentally friendly. So Charlie's business probably won't get consumed by their company. Yeah, really good. Even if Chad existed. All right. Now, apart from today's stream, is there anything that I want to announce? I think, and I'm still debating on it. Cause I'll be honest, I don't. Today's stream was about to not happen. I think I talked about it previously in other streams, but I'll mention it again. I have technical difficulties when it comes to sleep, and so my sleep schedule doesn't exist, right? And even if I feel tired and I go to sleep, I will not feel rested. So, and there'll be times where like you're awake, but you simply don't want to get out of bed because you want to keep on resting, but you're not resting regardless. So, today's stream was not about to happen because of that. That's actually the reason why Tuesday's stream didn't happen. But I'm actually glad that I was able to like power through and do today's stream. Definitely enjoyed it. So, mentioning this, I want to say there's a stream tomorrow for Tales of the Black Forest. I feel we're so close to finishing the game, and I want to finish the game. So that's why I'm trying to give it a little more focus, right? What do you mean? Wait, what do you mean? No. Chad, Chad is a great guy, and he was such a good boss. I do not understand how he ended up on the table of the funeral home. Who could have done this? Who could have done this? But yeah, so potentially look forward to another stream tomorrow, and that will be Tales of the Black Forest. Um, but yeah, thank you guys for joining me, and please have a good rest.